Managing personal finance is easy for some people. Others were taught by their parents or high school economics. For the rest of us, though, understanding how to budget and avoid debt can be a mystery. The Panda guys at Peters & Associates can help you unlock those mysteries and keep you afloat.
That's right, and even if you're already in debt, it's not too late. Here to help us with the basics of personal finance is Judah Sakalik. How are you, sir?
Excellent, guys. How are you doing this morning?
Doing very well. I was taught by TransUnion and Experian how to use your debt and not be a jerk.
Well, hopefully they taught you the right lesson.
Yes, well, they did. I had to learn hard lessons, but of course, what's the first thing that people should understand about personal finance?
Okay. That probably everyone has the same issue. So we probably meet about 5 to 10 people a day. Most of them come in with debt issues, and a lot of them just don't know how much money they make and how much money they spend. So that's the most important thing, right?
A budget.
A budget. How much is coming in and how much is going out.
Of course.
Well, it sounds really simple, but it's true. Not everybody knows how much they make and how they spend, and they're intimidated by keeping track of it. Am I right?
They are. It can be a hassle. Sometimes you just don't want to know. You put your head in the sand. So, one of the questions that we ask when people come in is, what's your gross income versus your net income? And a lot of people don't even know that distinction. So the gross is what you get before taxes. The net is what you get after taxes. That's your take home. So that's an important question for a lot of the things that we do.
Some people get a little bit ill opening up Microsoft Excel.
Right.
They're like,
Myself included.
I do. I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
too.
it's pretty helpful to kind of figure out, where the money's going. And kind of get some sort of example of where the money, just
Definitely. And
figure out a game plan.
And you don't have to be a computer expert to do it either, right? So you don't need to know how to work Microsoft Excel or any complex budgeting program.
The little boxes.
Right.
Just call it boxes. Yeah.
Boxes. You don't need it because the banks do it for you now. It's all electronic. So all you really need is a debit card, and that can track all your spending.
As long as you spend everything on the card.
As long as you spend everything on the card. So you have to get away from using cash, and for a while just use the debit card to track everything, and that can help you create a budget.
Now, it's interesting you mentioned that because I have been enjoying using cash recently just because I feel like it's in my hand and I have a little bit of control over it. But you're saying it's really hard to keep track of your spending that way?
It can be. Keeping track of every little penny, which
Yeah.
is important just to start, just so you have a good baseline. Now, after that, after you've done that, then you can start trusting yourself because you've kind of regimented how much you can spend and what it feels like. But before then, you can't really. You need to have that baseline to determine what you're spending and what you're taking in.
And there are apps, too, that if you need to, you can punch in what you're spending in cash. The one thing I noticed is when you have the cash in your hand and you're letting go of the cash, like if I had to spend, $1,000, say, on a new computer, and I did it on the card, it's like, but if you actually hand over 10 $100 bills,
Hurts a little bit more.
it hurts a lot more.
You're like, "No, Benjamin."
Yes. There's a connection. There's an emotion.
Yeah,
That's what I like about it. But it is good. I think anything that connects you more to what is going on with your money is a good thing.
Of course.
It's about keeping that constant connection. It's daily, right?
It's daily.
So it can be so time consuming.
It can be, but that's why we say use a check card and maybe review it once a month to determine what's going out and then categorize it. And there's certain percentages of what you should spend on certain things in your life. So the government does this. They tell you, hey, 31% of your gross income is a reasonable amount to spend on a principal and interest payment, taxes and insurance payment on your house.
Wow.
They have other categories for food, other categories for entertainment. So that will help set the baseline if you don't know how much you should be spending on certain things.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's very important because it's scary. Even today, NPR came out with some stats about how much people have at savings at the time of retirement. So probably, 22,000 or less is the average for people at retirement. 2/3 of people will work past 65 years old. So a lot of people aren't saving enough money for their retirement when they get older.
And really, when you're budgeting your whole life, you should be budgeting for the future as well.
You should. A lot of people don't take that in consideration, right? They just live paycheck to paycheck, and that's not a way to be secure, and that's not a way to make right decisions because you can't make a good decision if you're making out of fear of how you're going to pay your next bill.
Of course.
It sounds like the Panda guys, you offer a lot of different services, helping people manage their finances and also getting out of debt, right?
We
It's a
do.
big thing for you.
So, part of being an attorney is being a counselor at law. So for a lot of people that come in, we just talk about finances. We talk about what they're spending their money on, how they may be able to spend it wiser. Because not everyone needs a lawyer that comes in to see me, right? And if you don't need me, I'm going to tell you, hey, you just need to do a couple things. Don't spend $800 on the car when your rent's $1,000, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We need to prioritize, and that way you save up some money. And then if you have an emergency, you don't need to go get a payday loan or you don't need to get in debt. And that solves a lot of the issues that people have.
It seems like, whereas some parents do teach that lesson, sometimes kids like myself, the dummies, we learn the hard way because we don't listen. But if this was taught in school at a younger age, do you think that there'd be It just,
I
it
think it's
seems
a
like-
necessity.
Yeah,
And
it seems to be
it's
totally
basic.
ignored.
It's basic, right? You get kicked out of the house at 18, maybe,
Yeah.
and you go out to live on your own, and you don't know how to budget, you don't know how to live, and then you have the credit card companies, preying on kids who are under 21 now. When I went to college, it was 18 to
Right,
21
the
they could
second
go.
you got
Not
on
anymore,
campus. Yeah,
right? Not
exactly.
anymore, and so they get you in debt, and you can't get out of it. It's a spiral that you really can't escape if you don't know how to budget well, and so it should be taught.
It's great having you, my friend.
I
guys.
totally agree. Thank you so much for sharing information.
Pleasure.
Excellent.
He's here to help us. We've discussed personal finances.
It's important
this
for
morning.
every adult.
Everybody has
Seriously.
personal finances. Some have bigger issues than others. 18-year-old me should have seen this segment. The Panda Guys, though, they have a wide range of services, including mortgage reviews and debt reviews as well. They also offer a free one done by a real attorney, so you can give Judah or Xenophon. I pronounced that name correctly. I'm very proud of
Nice.
myself. Let them review your case and discover your options for free.
For more information on services offered by Peters & Associates, call or visit the website on your screen. You can also find them on Facebook or Twitter. They'll be back in a couple of weeks, too, to talk about tracked income and spending and how to turn it into a very simple budget. I like the word simple.
Simple is good. And
It makes me feel like I can do it.
you can do it. You know what else you can do? You can like